you know that's how
Gotta
we
get
do
the
it.
face back in my face. Yeah, man. I gotta get the face back in my face, guys.
Hey everybody, welcome to the TNC Hysterical podcast, the only podcast that you or your deceased relatives need to listen to. I'm Trevor,
I'm Caden.
and that was a horrible intro, but welcome to our world. You know, we're here doing it, per usual, hitting it every day, trying to keep you guys entertained. I know we're entertaining ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not trying to keep you entertained. I'm just here to entertain myself.
He's
And
here,
if you're entertained in the process, good for you.
he's here to look at himself in the wonderful camera, so that way we can be, recorded of everything and reminded of how... Shut up, Siri! No!
Thank God.
Well, that was a good start to the episode. Anyways,
Fucking
guys,
Siri.
today is a topic-based episode. We're going to just basically be rolling with it today because we have a few topics that we want to talk about and stuff that kind of have popped up and stuff like that. We don't have to do this in any particular order, but we're going to go with whatever pops into our head. I'm going to get this one out of the way now just because I don't remember what I saw, but it inspired me for this one. Mobile gaming. How in the fuck is it still a thing?
I don't know. I never could get into mobile gaming.
It makes so much money. They're all gotcha games. They all want you to spend your parents' credit card. And the thing is I get it that they work. That's why they're still a thing.
So, I mean, let's be fair. I can get into some puzzle games on
Yeah.
occasion. Like, you're just sitting in like the doctor's office or somewhere and it just gives you something to do with your hands for a moment. Like the puzzle
Yeah.
games. But like
But
PUBG or like Call of Duty on mobile or
I don't understand.
no, thanks.
I'm a console player. I'm hesitant to even think that Call of Duty is effective on a console. I'm just saying, like, realistically.
Yeah, it's fucking bothering
That's
me.
why I brought it up. Because I was like,
Yeah.
dude.
I've never been able to get into it. It's always super spotty, always
Yeah.
super glitchy.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I saw something like, Diablo 4 is coming after Diablo Immortal. Immortal made so much money. And it's like people were pissed off, but it made all this money. And it's like, I think the thing that bothers me is like, why are we still allowing this to happen?
Well, and you can't just because it could get better.
We've had mobile gaming for like 14 years now, 13 years now.
I know. I mean, but if you just drop the concept altogether, you could be missing out on something 20 years from now that could be fucking great.
That's true, but the way that technology advances 20 years ago, we didn't even have smartphones, so come on, man.
Okay.
I'm just making a point.
I know. I don't know. Me personally, I don't like it. I can't stand it.
It's the fucking worst. I'm sorry, it's just the fucking worst, and it drives me crazy. But yeah, I was seeing some article about like there was this mobile game that was infecting phones or something like that. And it's just
Yep.
people don't think before they download things, but I'm sure it would be a much better situation if one of us wasn't biased, but we're both biased. I don't like mobile games. I don't want them. I don't care about them, but that's me.
Me neither. I honestly don't either. That probably shouldn't have been a topic.
Well, it was a topic because it was something to vent about, to be real about, because it's not something that we both like, but it's just so questionable because they're getting away with so much anymore. And I think that's why it's a bothersome thing because,
So,
and the other thing is I think a lot of us who are smarter aren't drawn to mobile games because of shit like that. Because, one thing that me and you know is that, if you download a mobile game, sometimes they'll be like, can we have permission to use your camera? And you're like, no.
why?
No.
And my other problem with this is, yes, they ask for fucking
Yeah.
odd permissions on your phone.
Can we have access to
Can
your
we
wallet?
manage your calls? No, what the
Absolutely not.
fuck?
Yeah, dude.
All right, but anyways, yeah. So my other issue with that is all the games are the same.
God, tell me about it.
There is no uniqueness. Like, okay, you might have a different character but you're doing the same task.
Thing. They're the same thing. And sure, some of those meme games when you see the ads are funny, like the protect the Doge from the bee. But did you know up until last month that game didn't exist? It was an ad for a game that wasn't that game. That's the other thing, is the ads are for games that don't even exist. That's the other thing about it. There are some mobile games that I've seen that are like, that's dumb fun, and I would play it. And then you go to download it, and it's
some completely other game that has nothing to do with the ad.
And that even makes you wonder, like, what the fuck? So,
right?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Are they here?
No.
Okay. We ordered DoorDash. We're going to be eating soon, but we'll see that.
Scrap that. We're not promoting DoorDash because DoorDash sucks.
We're not promoting it at all.
We ordered food and it's on its way, so we're getting anxious.
It's too expensive, and we're hungry hoes. But whatever. But yeah, so no, that's why I wanted to talk about it, because it was kind of a topic that we hadn't really.
It's right. It's not a topic that we talk about a lot because.
But it's just interesting to see like the way that it goes, because, we've bitched about the mobile game or the gaming scene, like the actual gaming scene, for a while now, and I kind of felt like it was only fair to bring that up, just because, we both. I mean, console games. You play the Switch. Switch is fun. Consoles are good. PC is great too. Like, I'm not gonna say PC is better, because honestly, you could have a shit PC that's worse than your game console. So it's all a matter of perspective on that.
That's very true.
But goddamn it,
I was a huge console person until I built my PC, and I mean, I still use consoles for certain things, but mainly I just play on my PC.
Yeah, and
because my PC is honestly better than most consoles.
Yeah, but the fucking I don't get it. I don't get it. I think it was because I saw a gaming phone built for fucking mobile games. I can't wrap my head around this. Oh, and
I've seen those too. Isn't it like the Razer?
No, Razer has one. ROG has one.
I don't see I like the portability of it, but
and like you saw, the fingertip grips for mobile gaming. Yeah,
that was a scrapped episode, unfortunately, but
there's so many things that just make me like uncomfortable about mobile gaming, and I think that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's an uncomfortable subject. It's not something that I like. It's not something I would ever promote. It's something that kind of irritates me in a way, because
there's not really any games that require a specified device.
No, they all play on everything, and like.
But I mean, it might have a better, refresh rate on the screen, or it might be set up in the settings better for certain gaming scenarios. But like, I just feel like that's stupid.
It's kind of stupid. I don't get it. But that's why, like I said, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it was just one of those things where it was like, it baffles me. Like, it baffles me. Okay. But that was a good starting topic. I just wanted to kind of break the ice so that way we can kind of get our brains going a little bit, since this takes a lot more effort than everything else that we do. Cars in general. I wanted to talk about this just because of the fact that cars are
stupid expensive
and very different than what they used to be. We did make this into an episode. We were talking about value versus ownership. That wasn't a podcast. That one's up now, I believe so. That's our last one, because we talked about, remember how we were talking about the housing market and everything.
Oh yeah, no, that was 2 times ago.
Yeah, well, either way,
it does matter. That
was something that we covered, and it's a value of ownership versus value. Now, a car's value, I can kind of see it. A truck I don't fucking understand.
I don't get why trucks are so expensive.
I do not get that because if I recall correctly, like even back in like the 2000s, trucks were like on the level, if not mini trucks were cheaper than cars. And that's why a lot of older trucks people own. If I'm thinking about this correctly.
I'm pretty sure you are. It's just that, and a lot of it is because that for a period of time, manufacturers stopped manufacturing new trucks.
Yes.
To raise the price. I know Toyota was talking about doing that a few years ago.
Yes, I did hear about that actually.
Just to simply raise the price of their older models.
So I do want to throw this out there. Like I said, I don't understand the price, but I justify the price being higher. Maybe not what it is, but I justify it being higher because
they are more versatile.
No, I would even go so as far as to say durable. Because you buy a car,
that's fair.
You buy a car, unless it's like German engineered or a high class of something. I wouldn't even say Ford per se. You're looking at a 200,000 mile car, 250 if you're being generous. You buy a Volkswagen or something that's like, you know, just has the stats to back it up. You go 350,000. You buy a brand new truck, that motherfucker's going 500,000 miles at least, unless you legitimately tear it the fuck apart.
Depending on the truck you get.
Yeah, like I know that that's very.
Now we know
biased.
a lot of older cars or a lot of older trucks. They have fucking miles.
Yeah,
miles on those motherfuckers.
So, but this is the point. Like, yeah, sure, maybe you're buying double the vehicle, and nobody can deny that trucks' build quality is significantly better. Like, it doesn't matter what truck you get in, unless you're comparing a truck to like a Cadillac. The build quality inside and out is just better.
But that
they have to use a real steel frame for the truck. You know,
it's still not worth the price that they're.
No. Like I said, but even double the cost of a car, that's $40,000, not $70,000 to $100,000.
But I mean, yeah, I understand not even being double the price of a car. That's bullshit.
Yeah, like maybe
being double the price. No.
Like if you were paying $50,000 for a top trim truck, sure. You know, like I said, I could see that. You know, and then it goes down to like 35. You ain't finding no truck for 35,000.
No, you can get a 2001 yada 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 for $30,000 right now, and it has 300,000 miles on it.
It's
how that makes any fucking sense.
It's fucking crazy.
Beyond me.
And I like that. I know we kind of talked about this and touched on it previously, but I know Daddy Musk runs Tesla. But the fact that he came out with a car that's $80,000 to $100,000, a lot of people thought was stupid until you see what it can do. First off,
the specs on that thing.
Well, yeah, no, and at the end of the day, first off, it's probably going to outlive a couple of generations. My guess is that it'll last. Because a lot of the mechanical parts that make a machine are not present anymore because it's just an electric battery. And the other thing is that I don't know how much that battery costs. I don't know. But $15,000 to $20,000, that's fine. But in order to replace that, even if it is $15,000 to $20,000, that's buying a new car. That battery is the new car. So that's kind of why it makes sense. But you spend $80,000 on a Tesla, you can tow a fucking $120,000 truck. Rip it off the fucking lot and park. Like I said, the value still isn't there. I still don't understand it because that's still fucking ridiculous amounts of money. That is a fourth of a house. I get it. It's an everyday item. We need it. Everyone needs a car. It's fucking ridiculous. But it at least bucked a trend. It at least took something that we thought was a commonplace and said, well, guess what? Trucks aren't everything. But at the same time, it also pushed that point of like, well, cars can be expensive too. We don't need that example being set right now.
No, we really don't. We need things that are
cheaper. That's not a Honda. Sorry, a Honda owners, but let's be completely honest. They're the cheapest cars because they're the cheapest cars.
Kia?
Like overall. Okay, Kias are well put together, but their engines are absolute garbage. Let's be completely honest. If you could do an engine swap in a Kia, you'd have one badass vehicle. But I'm just saying. And that's why we're talking about the prospect of cars too, because nothing really makes sense. Like, the housing market's fucked, but no matter what, no matter who talks to what, the difference is that cars, they have an opportunity to fluctuate. The housing market's only going to go worse. Like, we're going to hit a point in our lifetime, where houses are going to be $50,000, $500,000 fucking dollars, and that's for a starter home. We're going to hit that point. We're almost there. Like,
yeah,
you know, and people,
anything with more than fucking like 2 beds.
Yeah, and people are going to think like, oh yeah, this crash is coming. Well, the crash is coming, but what happened the last time we crashed? It was cheap for a small amount of time, and then it went higher than it was before. So sure, I mean, yeah, you can jump on that or be prepared, but that doesn't fix the problem. And it's because housing is a commodity now. It's not, you know, people don't think of it as like, I own this. This is mine. They use it as a means, and if they don't like it, they move on to the next one. And it's that public.
Well, you also have the problem of companies owning property these days
Yes.
just to set out as rentals.
Yes.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Yes, I agree on that 100%. Yeah, because then they just hold on to that too. They hold on to it. And if people don't like the price, cool, I'll keep it. And there's just so many different things in this whole entire thing. Like I said, we're talking about housing, but we're talking about cars. But the thing is, the car is the same thing. If you don't like how expensive a new car is, go buy a used one. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. It's this mindset of it's not a necessity, it's a commodity. It's something that you buy and you use until it blows up. But the thing is that the reason that I don't agree with it is because so you put, I don't know, let's be generous. How many miles would you say you put on a vehicle every month? And then, like I said, I traveled for work, so an excess would be 1,000 miles a month.
See, I could say I put less than 4,000 miles on a car in a year.
In a year, okay.
I only put maybe a couple hundred. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a big maybe.
Yeah, okay, so see, this is the thing. So in a year, total, I have put 20,000 miles. And that's not driving to work. You know, that, like I said, that's one thing. But either way, I'm just saying, like, if you're being generous, like, and this is what I mean, like, if you're driving to work every day, you drive a long distance, it doesn't matter. But just say that 20,000 miles in a year is a normal person type of thing.
So it's actually 10,000. Statistically, on average, people put 10,000 miles on their car.
Okay, 10,000 miles in a year. So if you break this down mathematically, that car is going to last you 20 years. These are what car companies are looking for, because your car will last to 200,000 miles. It'll last you 20 years, and in that 20 years, you should be able to buy a new car. Say your statistic is different. Say you put 50,000 miles a year on your car because you drive all the time. Well, guess what? Then you're shit out of luck, because your car is going to go bad in 4 years. So every 4 years, you've got to be ready to buy a new one.
Yep.
And guess what? That's not the car maker's fault. Buy a used one. And that's not right. Like, we should be able to financially buy what we want. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, cars are reasonably priced if the dealerships didn't rob them. If they didn't add on $5,000 out of nowhere, then...
So, this is my 2 cents on the matter, and this goes for housing and cars. We shouldn't have to sell our souls to a lender as much as we have to in this day and age.
I think that what you're trying to say in a more blunt term, that is less acceptable in most populations, is that we should own the shit we buy. I think that's the more straightforward answer.
I mean, they should make it easier to buy.
Yeah.
For most of the population, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, we just fucking are in this point, in this day and age where nobody wants anybody to own anything. And the logistical property behind that is, well, we're going to die, so what happens when we die? And then it's just useless, you know? So what's the point of giving us all these things that we're just going to hold on to because it's wasteful, when in reality, they're not going to tell you they're doing it to make more money. They're doing it because they want to fucking make a profit off of us, because they know that the banks will get it for us and we will pay the banks for 50 fucking years. And then when we die, we finally own the thing that we were trying to get, which is absolutely the most stupid fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. The other opposite end of that is it's the same with housing. People pay for houses for like 30 years. And, you know, it's grotesque, because I know a lot of people have this mindset of like, you know, when you get older, you'll appreciate it more. But it's like, but at the same time, I want to own something while I'm young so I can enjoy it. Because dude, and the I think the reason that we're fucked up is because at the end of the day, you could have paid off a $700,000 house and you have $1,000 payment. One. You miss your payment for 3 months, they take your fucking house. That's $700,000 that it just disappeared.
So, and you know, the other big thing on why this is okay is because they're selling to
why this is okay or why it's not okay.
Why they can get away with it.
Why it's not okay.
So,
but yeah, I get what you're
yes.
Because you said why this is okay. And I was
so,
like, what?
Yeah, no, this isn't okay. But it's because there is a small percentage of the population that can do it.
Yes,
so
and there is.
So, like, yeah, you can go out and you just have that money to buy an $80,000 car off the lot.
I think I understand what you're saying.
That's fine. But most of the population is in debt to something, because we can't afford anything these days because of banks.
We know why. It's because the economy's shot.
And big corporation and...
Yeah. I mean, realistically, though, I understand exactly what you were saying. They want the rich people to be our example when they can't even fucking remotely represent us. Like, and I get it. Like, that's exactly how it is, though, because they want, oh, well, you should have this kind of money. No, it's not attainable for 95% of us. It's not even remotely close. Like I said, you know, at the end of the day, and I've had this conversation with specific people before, and you know, that's our DoorDash. Cool. Oh, you're paying for it.
It's already paid for it. Yeah, but even on that note, just land doesn't even have a house on it. Can't even get land at a decent price.
You know, and we bring this shit up because it's fucked. You know, and it's like, what they want you to do is they want you to live in your little crucible. They want you to rent an apartment for your whole life. That way they have tabs on you. That way they fucking have everything that, you know. I was like, this was a little white.
It should have your fries in it.
Okay. It does. Weird.
And then I've got your burger.
No salt. This is your fries.
They should both have salt. I did not order one without salt. I mean, I'll take those fries.
I don't know. I'll eat them. I don't care. I'm just confused. Just confused. Is this my Baconator? That's my heart stopper. I don't know what's going on.
That's my triple bypass in a few years. So, but no, it doesn't even matter, because that's what I was bringing up, was that even land without a house on it is
worth something. Yeah, it's
so much more expensive than it needs to be.
Oh God, you're totally correct. Well, and this is the thing too, is that, like I said, you know, at the end of the day, if you're in a position to go and buy land, and you're like, why the fuck would I do that? It's a waste of money. Yes, land is like $20,000, $30,000 for an acre. ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Depends on where you're at. But yes, I agree with you too, and even higher. I'm just giving a base price based on where we're at.
$90,000.
Here you can find
No,
it.
here.
Here you can find it for that much.
No, you cannot. This is something I have been looking into. Yes, out near here, you can get some for, let's say it's $30,000.
Yeah, okay, but that's my
But
point. Yeah.
no power, no water rights.
Regardless of the situation, my point being is that you might think it's stupid, but in 10 years, that's gonna like get you $300,000. Like that, and like I said, what you said is true, but to the point of like, if you're thinking that you need to buy houses to make an income, it's all about the land, and especially in a developing city like Cedar, buy something that you know, oh yeah, they're gonna build down this line. And then guess what? When they want that property, they're gonna fucking pay for it from you. But that's the thing, is like I said, it's these people that are smart and well enough adapted to understand, like, yeah, this sucks now, but in the future, it's gonna suck even worse. And that's how they do it, you know. And as much as Caden hates to admit it, it's one of those things where fucking the rich is made for the rich, and the poor is made for the poor. Like, there's no cookie cutting around it. It fucking sucks. But realistically, you know, a lot of us are never going to own the things that we want to own because it's impractical. It's not the way that they want it set up. It's not the way the system is set up. And, you know, people are hoping for like, oh yeah, the market's going to crash. We need a collapse before anything changes, dude.
Well, and how much that big corporations and such are buying shit, it's not going to collapse.
Oh no.
Because they can afford to pay that price for these items, so it's going to stay there.
I mean, if you look at 2020 for an example, you know, that should have been enough for the entire economy around the world to collapse. And it didn't. And that's a show sign right there. We weren't able to keep toilet paper in fucking supermarkets. Like, it's fucked up, but it's true. We weren't able to keep toilet paper in supermarkets. We weren't able to fucking, there was a lot of shit that was just out. Like, oh, we don't know where we're gonna get it from. Electronic pressed on, car dealerships pressed on, even through their like, oh yeah, we're gonna fail, we're scared we're gonna be a problem, they were fine. Like,
yep.
And everything didn't stop until the middle of 2022. That's when they're like, oh, we're on the uphill again. How the fuck do you stay in business for a year and a half after not making shit? That's why there's so much more to this story. I can't even begin to propagate what might like make this okay and why it's gonna get worse, you know, and just shit like that.
It's going to get a lot worse.
Well, especially with the chip shortage that everyone doesn't know is coming, because a lot of you guys might not know it, but TSMC, chip manufacturer, they're in your cars too. They're in your fucking blenders, my guys.
You got to stop saying chip. Say microchip or something, because every time you say chip, I think of food. There's a chip shortage. Oh no, my Doritos.
Well, whatever. It's a microchip.
Yes.
It's an actual CPU chip. It could be anything. But there was a chip shortage. Legit chip shortage. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. A lot worse. And people think that we're at the end of it, but we're just starting. We're just gonna see the fluctuation of it now, and it's gonna hit hard. Cars are going to get so much more expensive because they can't get the electronic components to build them. It's fucking going to be nuts. You know, and I don't know about you, but if a car gets up to fucking $40,000, I'm not buying a new fucking car. That's, no.
Also, my thing on it is the fact that it's the older generations that also fucked us. Because the older generations did that where they bought a shit ton of land and held on to it, and now they're trying to just price gouge everybody in the younger generation.
He's 110% right. Because the problem is, if you want it, there's no way around it. They don't legally have to sell it. You have to legally buy it. So it's fucked.
It's simply a supply and demand issue.
And the reason that used cars is such a hot commodity is because there's so many of them. Because back in the day, when cars were like $8,000 for a brand new one. God, can you fucking imagine? People had 3 cars.
Right.
You know, we'll hold on to these forever. And then they died and their kids sold them off. There's just influx of so many used cars that just, I get it. And some of the older cars are better than the newer cars. Like, I agree with that 100%. But if I want a new fucking vehicle that doesn't smell like grandma said it 10 years ago, I want a fucking car that's mine. You know, and only big mine. But can't do that. God forbid, trucks are even worse. You get a mini truck and it smells like it. It's fucking crazy.
Right.
But you know, at the end of the day, everybody has their like philosophies about what's going wrong, or what happened in the world. We're just fucked. And I don't mean to be that way as a negative like naysayer, but we're fucked.
We are. We are definitely just fucked at this point.
You know, and we were talking about this on one of the overclocked. And this is a hard subject because we brought it up before, but healthcare in the United States is wrong. And it's exactly like this. It's not that the government doesn't want to fix healthcare, it's just they fucked it up so bad that they don't even know where to begin to start to fix it. Like, it is an influx of money, and I know they want to take care of us, but shit, you move to fucking, what is it? It's like Sweden or somewhere, and they give you free health. Like, we should be allowed to be healthy and not have to sell our houses to get it. It's fucking crazy.
Well, and it's the same way in Canada. But all you're doing is you're paying for your health care and your tax.
Canada's a lot more lenient with that shit than America. Like, I heard that they will provide insulin for like $10. They're much more reasonable about it. Like, I don't mind paying, but it's not fucking reasonable. Oh, you want a month's supply of insulin? Let's get $2,000. Like, oh yeah, that's my entire work paycheck. Thanks for that. Like, dude, when we were working at Mauser, like I said, if you saved every fucking penny you earned in that year, you could almost buy it. That means you couldn't eat, pay rent, do any of this stuff. You know, I mean, in reality, at the end of the day, if you paid all your bills at one of those shitty to work places that don't give a shit about you and never will build upon things like that, like, you can get a car in maybe 10 years. Because you can only save like $200 a month, and that's the expectancy. You know, that's what people look at. You know, that's everyday Joes. That's not even someone like with a criminal record that can't get a job. The lower class. Like, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy to think about shit like that. Because, dude, I just want to own the shit that is mine. I don't want complications. I don't want to walk into a dealership with $25,000 and expect me to pay like $30, because that's not right. Put it on your price. You're fucking me at that. But why do they do that? because it's easy to go to the bank and get a $2,000 loan. And half the time, those dealers are tied into the banks for that reason because they make so many deals. Because guess what? They don't want you owning that fucking vehicle. They want you to be in debt. They want you to owe someone for that car.
But on another note with this, just back to our original topic on just cars in general. I do like the way technology is going in cars.
I do too. Self-driving is the top one. But
never tried it. But what I am going to say is I don't like working on newer cars. Because all it is miles of electrical. Literally just miles of wire.
And if there's anything we learned from working on older cars, I don't like working on electrical on older cars. Fuck that.
I just like working on the mechanical.
And even then, it's a pain in the ass.
Yes, it is.
Like, I get that, but I feel like the other downside is, and it doesn't justify the price, but especially with newer cars. Now, newer cars, they either break completely, or they've built them to a point where as long as you're changing the oil and doing everything you're supposed to do, nothing happens until the engine blows up. I feel that they've hit this point of learning from older vehicles. They've kind of cut out all the points of failure to make cars a lot more reliable in that sense. Now, do they go further than older cars? Not even close, really not. But
I will say Toyota has done a very good job on making reliable cars. As long as you maintain your car regularly, those things go forever. Mm-hmm. Even their newer shit.
That's kind of why I brought up the foreign cars, because I know that Toyota's owned in America now. I mean, they used to be owned. They were out of the States. So foreign cars. Not all foreign cars. I'm never gonna fucking be in a Bugatti to say that it's the shit, dick titty balls. But if I had Bugatti money, I'd have money to have a fucking mechanic live in my garage. I'm just saying. That's some next level shit, but like I said, I trust Volkswagen. I trust Toyota. Hands down. Chevy, Dodge, all of them is fucking so hit and miss. So on the model, the car.
Yeah, especially with Ford.
Oh my god.
So their cars used to be amazing at one point in time. And then they switched over to let's make it cheaper.
See, but the thing is that I would even go further on the Ford situation. Because, hear me out, you might wind up agreeing with me on this. I would say Ford's vehicles are actually annual. Year to year. You can almost pinpoint which year, that's a good Ford to buy, that's a bad Ford to buy. And it could be the same fucking car. It could be the Focus from 2011 is the one to buy, or the one from 2013, stay the fuck away from. That's what I'm saying. There's just these certain aspects about Ford that
they may or may not have put really bad transmissions in the 2012 to 2015. No, 2016. No, 2012 to 2016.
Yeah, 2012 to 2016.
They put a very bad clutch.
And I happen to own a 2011 Ford Focus.
Transmission, I should say, not just the clutch. The automatic.
It was the power clutch, and the fucking yoke.
The yoke's not bad.
Depends on which car. Focus is.
The major problem with them was the automatic 6-speed dual clutch transmission that they put in their cars. They failed after 100,000 miles.
Yep.
I just had to rebuild mine.
But
yeah, it depends on what they put into them, because I feel like Ford doesn't test their shit as much. They just stick shit in and say, okay, it's good.
No. I mean, one thing I will give them, though, is, you know, we've kind of slightly touched on this talking amongst ourselves, but, you know, they made the EcoBoost motor because their older truck motors were failing so constantly, they had to make a new motor. They had to. Like, it wasn't the mileage or anything, it's just, you know, these were top-end motors that were expected to go 400, 500,000 miles. And after 100,000, a fucking, you know, but after 100,000, a rod would go through the block. Just, they were piss poor motors, you know. And that's why they had to make the EcoBoost. And the thing is that, yes, the EcoBoost motors in their trucks are very good. But their trucks are also $70,000 starting compared to a car which has an aluminum block, super shitty, super cheap, not that great. They're fucking four bangers, like pretty much all of them as far as I know. Yep. You know, and so that's a smaller chamber for combustion that is more heat to be dispersed amongst the block because they are tiny. I'm sure me and you, if we got on each side, we could pick up the motor and just take it. I'm sure, easy. And, you know, does that mean it's a bad thing? I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. But would I say that it is highly more vulnerable to damage, wear, and everything else? Yes.
Yes, and that's the thing is, especially their newer Mustangs. A lot of them were made with a four-banger in it. I'm not saying the motor's bad. I love four-bangers.
Yeah, no, four-bangers are not bad. Actually, if you're going to be completely honest, and this is something a lot of people know, is that most four-bangers today are pretty fucking quick. Surprisingly, they're pretty fucking quick. Yeah, they don't have the, you know, the launch capacity that bigger motors do. They don't have the torque or the horsepower, and that's fair. That's how that fucking works. You know, you're not going to make a fucking horse come out of a zebra. It doesn't work like that. But Mustangs are their sports cars. That's the reason why it's a problem. Because you're talking even worse, you know, still, because that's someone who's coming into this having to buy a top-end car. It's a Mustang. It's worth like $40,000 because that's their car that they ride on that people know, you know, and it's not. And
I mean, and they're selling a lot of their.
But if I'm to be completely fair too, I think a worse proprietor would be shit. I love old Camaros so much, but the new Camaros are so gutless. They're pieces of shit. They break down so easily, and you can't even get a manual hardly unless you special request it.
You know, I love the body style of the old Camaros, and I like the body style of, say, the 2020 on.
No, I'm talking 69, like legendary old school Camaros.
69 Camaro SS.
Yeah, like I said, those, like. But this is the point that I'm saying, though. Those set a precedent for what their sports cars were supposed to be. But now, over the years, they've become fucking nothing more than a fucking compact family car.
Right, and this is kind of what I was going with, is the same 4-liter, or not 4-liter, my bad. The same 4-banger that's in the Mustang is the same 4-banger that they're putting in their Ford Fusion.
Yeah, that's true too.
So at this point, you're just buying at a higher price for a body style.
But that's why the Camaros hurt so bad, is because they are a 6. They are a V6 or a V8. And the fucked up thing is that Mustang would probably beat that Camaro. Having having either a quarter or half as many fucking, you know, valves to run off. That's fucking stupid.
It is. I would love just to get like a 2022 Camaro
and gut the motherfucker.
And take the motor out and put a 12-valve Cummins in it.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and that's the only plus side is that there's the space in those fuckers now because those goddamn things are boats.
They are.
Those new Camaros are fucking boats, dude. Jesus. Like, it blows my mind too because when I rode in one, I was like,
Well, and see, that's the thing is, they have the wide bodies because they're supposed to have the power to be
okay,
a wide body.
let's be completely honest. Camaros are supposed to have a V8. And that's what they're meant to have in them. Their top line sports, old school ones back in the day, had a fucking V8 motor
Yep.
that would rip shit. But because of the way that things have changed and the economy works, now we're giving a gutless V6 that my Ford Focus would give it a run for its money, which is fucking depressing. I bet
It is pretty sad.
I bet the Jetta would wipe the fucking floor.
With it being turboed, yeah.
I bet it would wipe the fucking floor. Without a shadow of a doubt, wipe the fucking floor with it. That's stupid. That's stupid to think about. The only thing
It
that
is.
I know it would be is the top end speed, but at that point, who cares? It's like, yeah, it's fucking crazy to think about that shit. And I mean, that's not me talking shit on Volkswagen. Like I said, I like Volkswagen. I think that they make some of the best cars, and unlike a lot of their competitors, if you get a fucking GLI or a diesel Volkswagen, you're getting a fucking sports car. You get a diesel Jetta, you're gone. You get the fucking Volkswagen Rabbit, like the Golf Rabbit that they used to make, you're done. You're not.
And there's my thing is, I'm not going to argue that at all because I like German-built cars.
Same.
Audi, Volkswagen.
Well, and like you were saying, actually, to tell you the truth, I mean, one of my favorite brands is Toyota. Like, if I could own a truck, it'd be a Toyota because they're so fucking reliable and they don't die.
And you have your options.
Yeah, you have your options. Even though, just be aware, if you go into a Toyota dealership and you want to buy the car, you're going to pay about $1,000 more for your steering wheel, another couple hundred for your seats. your options, Toyota will gouge you.
And
for
their
every fucking penny.
parts aren't cheap, but
They're not.
so
well
if you
done.
have to replace a part,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not cheap, but it lasts.
Yeah, it lasts. Compared to like Volkswagen, yeah, they're really reliable, but it is expensive to fix it. It is very fucking expensive to fix it.
Yep.
And that's not even getting into like Mazda territory, where that's a whole other fucking ball game, or Audi, where it's like it's gonna cost you like a couple grand to fix a minor thing. And,
Pretty much.
And that's the other downside about it is that, like, even a couple years ago, I would have compelled an Audi A5 would be one of the best cars to just have for any use because they were quick, reliable, super good. But now everything's changed. Now they're still quick and they're still good, but the failure rates that they have are so like crazy. Like the one thing that always scared me was like 2015 up to 2022, you have a timing belt. If your timing belt snaps for whatever reason, it could be a fucking screwdriver went into that motherfucker, your engine's gone. Your engine is done. You need a new engine. Engines for those things.
That's for any car.
Yeah, and but that's what I mean. But timing belts are in every one of their fucking cars. Or
Chevy had that problem too.
yeah, Chevy had that problem too, and I think it was for that car that they discontinued. I don't remember what it was.
No, I mean they put them in everything.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Every one of their cars.
Back in
Yeah,
the
we're
day.
talking 2015.
Yeah.
Everything was, the second that belt snapped, there goes your camshaft, your rods.
Yeah, you're
everything.
done. And that's the thing is like, I understand the point. It's a performance thing technically, but also technically to know that if this thing that you have no idea when or if it could go,
Right, because it's fucking hidden.
that's what I mean. And so, but the thing is the difference between an Audi is his Focus or my Focus Blue motor. Ouch, $1,500. That hurts. And Audi's gonna cost you like 10 grand at least.
You can get one for miles on it.
Well, no, our motors are so small.
No, I just replaced my motor.
Oh, nice. So they've gone up in price.
Well, I replaced it last year.
Yeah, but either way,
still
like I
not
said,
that
it's not bad. Audi's going to cost you 10 grand, and that's going to be for used, heavily used, because they are classified as this like
High performance.
yeah middle higher
Right.
class of like almost a luxury car, which they're a luxury car price. They start at like what 45, 47 start.
Yeah.
That's for like the A3, not the A5. Like that's fucking crazy. Like that's insane. Like and like I said,
Yeah.
we had this discussion already about price to performance or ownership or anything like that. Yeah, there are some cars out there that are literally just you're getting more comfort versus your performance, or
you're getting less reliability and more comfort,
yeah, which is sometimes even the worst.
which drives me fucking insane.
Though, but the thing is at least Dodge did one thing right, and they basically said, oh, if you want to see us fuck up, we'll show you how we fuck up, and release the Dodge Dart. Fucking $18,000, it's yours off the fucking lot. That's with taxes and everything. That car is a piece of shit. It does not matter which variant you buy. It doesn't matter what's in the damn thing. It doesn't matter the color of it. It's gonna fucking break before it hits 50,000 miles. And it's almost like they were like, you're calling us a shitty fucking company, so here, have this.
I will say that I do like the Hellcat motor.
I don't know if the darts, I think you're mixing it up. The darts are those like little...
I know what the Dart is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the Hellcat was definitely not in a Dart.
Yeah.
Not off the lot. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm with Dodge, you went, this is their shittiest thing. I'm going...
Okay, yeah.
But they made the Hellcat.
They made the Hellcat motor.
Because that was in their Challenger?
It was
Or the Charger?
It was in their Challenger first, because it was the Challenger Hellcat. They did it as like the Fast and Furious promo, remember, because that was the one. Okay, so yeah, it was the Challenger. Then, that's fine, because it'll bounce off. So it was the Challenger, then the Charger, and then they did it in the Magnum redo that they did, because they had that Magnum come back for like a year with the Hellcat motor in it. And now the engine's in pretty much anything that you want from them, it seems like. It just costs.
Oh, well, you got fucking, like the fucking
you might as well
Hennessy.
buy two cars, yeah.
Hennessy makes a fucking, they put a Hellcat motor in a Raptor.
Yeah, so you might as well make two fucking cars and call it macaroni. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't specify any car that the Hellcat came in. I just like the motor.
yeah, so, no, the motor's great. Like I said.
Which will cost you about $15,000.
But as far as blunders and as far as dealers who, like, legitimately, like, intentionally shit the bed, it was the Dodge Dart. And the problem with the Dodge Dart was it honestly could have been something great. And I think that's why it's so sad.
Oh.
It was just manual off the lot. It didn't matter. You fucking had... It was low profile. It boasted great gas mileage, and as far as I'm aware, it had great gas mileage. Like,
Yeah,
I
they
think
definitely weren't bad on the gas mileage.
like, but they could have been so much better. They could have been the car to end all this bullshit about what is an economy car, what is an affordable option. It could have been the one, but they fucked it up, and it literally, it doesn't matter if you buy it brand new, it's a sinkhole. Like, it's just gonna break.
Same thing with the Chevy Sonic.
Okay, the Chevy Sonic though, that counts, but it doesn't, and you know why? Because they made a Sonic way back in the day that was actually pretty good. So they brought it back, so it counts, but
I can agree with that.
yeah, that's the only thing I'm saying on it.
I am going for the newer.
Yeah, the newer Sonics suck fucking.
Newer
dick.
Sonics are just
They're garbage. They're garbage.
fucking trash.
Shit. It's like what is it? I know Chevy's not exempt from that. What is it? What is that? What is that one Chevy that everyone talks shit? The one Chevy car. I can't think of it off the fucking top.
That's what I'm talking about is a Chevy Sonic.
No, it's
But-
it's the other worst one. The one that like all the fucking dipshits drive. The Chevy fucking I can see it.
Car, truck,
It's a car.
it's a car. The Impala?
Nope. Because I mean Impala's legendary, so that doesn't
I mean,
count. I know.
same with the Mustang though. The Impala got its name from the 69. The 60s Impalas were fucking awesome. Newer Impalas suck dick.
I'm just trying to look. No,
I can't think of.
Yep. No, that's not it.
So if you go to Carvana and you see that they have a lot of a certain vehicle for sale, it's probably a shitty car.
I can see it.
Are you sure it's Chevy?
I know what it is. I just can't think of it. I'm sure it's Chevy. I know we haven't talked shit about Dodge, but we all know what the shitty Dodge car is. Dodge Dart. Oh yeah, we talked about it. No, it's the Chevy. Like I said,
See, we talk shit on, Ford, Audi, Chevy, Dodge. I mean, those are the basic most commons.
Yeah, it's not letting me see it. I don't know. It's
Malibus aren't bad cars.
No, I know it's something.
Yeah, I know. I can't think of what it is.
It's like
what is it still in production?
That's what I was looking at. But no, it's like I said, it's that older car. I can fucking see the front of it, and it's like, you know what it is. It was like back in the day, like in the 2000s. It was like the lower version of the Cruise. I can't remember what it is, but I can see the stupid thing. The stupid thing almost looks like one of those goddamn, like it had the bubble eyes and everything and slim good. It was just a piece of shit. I can't remember what it is, but I could, like I said, I can see it plain as day, but I can't remember what it is.
This is gonna bother me because I can't think of what you're trying to say to me. I mean, I can't think of what you're trying to get across.
Let me see.
Hang with us for a minute.
Yeah, we're looking.
And it was Chevy, not GM.
It was Chevy. I mean, let's be completely honest. GM makes like mid cars. None of them are fantastic, but none of them are like pieces of shit at least. That's GM.
You know what? The one I wish they brought back? The Nova.
Yeah.
Chevy Sonic, Traverse, Colorado, Trax, the Monte Carlo? The Bolt.
No, that was the electric car. I'm looking right now. Yep. The older one. Chevy Cobalt.
Oh!
Yeah.
I got a story for one of those that I can't say on air.
Yeah, those fucking pieces of absolute garbage. I was like trying to think of what it was. No. That's what it is. I'm stupid. It's not the Cobalt. You know what it is. The Chevy Cavalier. Those fucking cars were so bad. Fucking bad.
I am going to say this because I have actually owned multiple Chevy Cavaliers. The 90s models were great.
That's why I said the older ones.
They stopped making the new ones in
2005. I looked at it.
5? Okay, so I did actually own a 98 Chevy Cavalier and...
So, 98, 2005. Version produced by GM. 2006 for China, but no, 2005.
And I owned a 2004 model. Nothing but electrical issues.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I know what it is, but I can't fucking think of it. But that's why I was like, it's an older one. I can see it. They were the fucking worst cars.
But no, the fucking 90s ones were actually fantastic.
Yeah.
The 5-speed manual, fucking fun, little fucking cars.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that was the blunder on Chevys, but for real. I mean, other than cutting the balls off of the Camaro, like that was their big one. That was their big car fuck up, like by a mile. That one was actually impressive. But that's why I said all the like fucking wannabes on those cars because they think it's super loud. Yeah, that's why I was like, that's that car. That's that car.
That's not why I bought mine though.
I know, but
it was affordable.
yeah, but that's what I mean. That's why I was like, I'm like saying all these things, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, how the fuck is it not coming to me? Yeah, that.
And nowadays, it's anyone who buys a Mazda.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's been that way for a long time with Mazda,
That's
just
true.
because of their
It's actually been
motors.
since like the 90s.
It's because of their motors, because they have a very unique motor that is incredibly difficult to fix, and most mechanics won't touch. So if they're not going to touch it, you obviously aren't going to touch it because the thing is complicated as shit.
Oh, I'll touch it. I'll touch it in its naughty parts.
And then like, I don't know, how do I do this?
I'll just light it on fire.
But yeah, so that is why Mazda's kind of suck. I mean, their transmission's actually holding pretty well, though, so at least there's that.
I'm not saying
But-
really anything about the car technically,
But
the
yeah, that thing.
around the car.
That thing, yeah, really though. But no, you want to know what car I wish that Chevy would bring back? The El Camino.
He's on his own on this.
You don't like him? That's-
Never a fan of the El Camino.
That's alright. I like them just because they were fucking big block little badasses. They were actually fucking really mean. My dad owned 3 of them. And to have a car that's a truck, because it's so fucking weird. I think that's why I don't want one, because they're so weird that it's like, if your vehicle ever came up stolen, you're like, I know this is mine.
I just thought that concept was the fucking stupidest thing ever.
It
But,
worked,
you
though.
know, it did.
It did
People
work.
like it. People fucking,
I'm just saying that's me.
yeah.
That's me. You know.
Like I said, I wish the Chevy would bring back the Nova.
Well, that's a fair one because a lot of people love the fucking old Nova.
Fucking 70s Nova.
Dude, Glenn.
72?
No, Glenn. He got a '67 Nova Chevy, brand new condition. Almost. Dead ass. He's got it at his house. He's like, fuck this thing up, and I know it, buddy. I'm like, goddamn,
You
dude.
better do right by it.
He you know he's going to. He has a problem. But
Yes.
yeah, he's thrilled about it, and I'm jealous because
Cause yeah, I've seen some fucking Novas that.
no, it's like I think it's the emerald green Nova. He got that. Just, I'm like, dude,
You know, you do it right.
Yeah, you're
Those
gonna-
things in good condition.
you're gonna have fun. You're gonna die with that car. You're gonna die. I'm just, not kill yourself. It's just it's gonna live as long as you are.
Put a Hellcat motor in it.
Well,
You can make it fit. You can make it.
no, because it's too much. You know that.
You can prefab shit.
You're like literally cutting into your dash. Like there's gonna
That's
be a
fine.
fucking
That's
fan
fine.
belt sticking in your driver's
That's
seat.
fine. That's fine.
He's an idiot.
That's
what
fine.
I'm saying. Oh my
You
god.
just
Well,
extend the engine bay.
anyways, we've dragged on about cars for a long time because that was our main first topic. Well, how about we go ahead and do weird video game quirks? I'm grabbing my seat thinking about this because you know how fucking irritated I am at this right now? So I wanted to like send you a video because I didn't know how else to like prove this. So there are 2 games that I know I have quirks with that I've looked online. And this is probably a me thing, but I've heard of other people having issues depending on game to game. I know you do too. I know there's some games that you're like, I should be able to run this. But it's just being stupid. But that's what I'm talking about, quirks in general. So Hogwarts Legacy, I know is like, fucking shiny and shit like that. Blah, blah, blah. I played this game at 4K with ray tracing with DLSS on, just because. And I will get 50 to 60 frames a second. Right?
Right.
So I'll drop it down to 1080p with DLSS on. I will get 60 frames a second. So the Outer Worlds just got a new updated edition. They updated the graphics. It was stuck on last gen. It's like Bethesda, like they made Fallout New Vegas, so they made that game. This was their first game as their new company. Well, or no, they were still obsidian. But anyways, my point that I'm getting at is that the Outer Worlds can almost run out of fucking potato.
Okay.
I crank it up to 4K on my machine. It runs at 42 frames a second. I crank it down to 1080p. It goes up to like 340 frames. As where other people who are running like your hardware are driving it at like 200 frames a second at 4K native.
What?
That's what I mean, video game works. And like I said, I've looked it up, and every person that I saw had a 3090. Like, different editions. MSI Ventus, you know, it wasn't even EVGA, it might have been MSI Ventus, it might have been an ROG, but a 3090. And, like I said, I can't get Hogwarts Legacy to go past 60 frames a second, but I'll watch YouTube videos of people who drive it to 114 frames a second. I physically can't do it.
That's weird.
You know, and the Outer World, I bought the upgraded version because I had issues with running it at higher frame rates. This one runs even worse. I mean, it has updated visuals and stuff, but like, so if I have it cranked to the max, it runs at like 30 fucking frames a second. So let's go ahead.
I haven't tried to run either of these games, so.
So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you real quick. And this is why we're talking about it. So Outer Worlds. So let's just do... if we can do. Okay, 3090 Ti, which isn't mine. This is the old one, and like I said, I can maybe run this at 50 frames a second. This is the same setup as mine, just with the 5950X. So I'm showing him a video right now just to kind of give him some context, but...
Okay.
It runs at 60, if I'm lucky.
Okay. That's super weird.
Yep. Watch this. You ready to see some fucking weird shit? Which we know mine is more powerful than, right? I'll show you. 4K native. What? Wait, DLSS on.
Huh.
Like...
Okay, that's weird. That's definitely fucking weird.
You know, and then you know about the Star Wars Battlefront issue that I have where it just crashes, and it shouldn't, but it does. Like...
No, I mean, it's like the same thing that, like, with me, I can run Fortnite full settings just fine, and then it just randomly crashes.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I thought it was an overclock issue. Like, I wanted to be completely sure it wasn't an overclock issue. I downloaded Outer Worlds again to try the base version, deleted my overclock on both my CPU and GPU, and instead of fucking getting better performance, it stayed exactly the same. This is a game that's running at fucking 120 frames a second.
Huh.
And this is why I wanted to talk about this, because, like I said, well, the reason that it was brought up to me is because, yes, The Outer Worlds drive me fucking crazy because I should be able to run it better. And I love the damn game, but like the Hogwarts Legacy was the thing that was like.
How is that? I just don't get why it's maxed out at 60.
No. I'll bring it up. Talk to the people. I'll bring it up and I'll show you. And you'll be like, WTF, Mike?
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I don't have any of these issues on my PC.
Yeah.
But
WTF? Well, like you just said, Fortnite.
I mean,
Dude, it
just
game,
crashing.
It depends on what game. They're weird video game quirks. And that's the reason why they're weird quirks, is because, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any reason that it's crashing. Doesn't crash with any other fucking game.
It just crashes. And like with the Outer Worlds, I was reading online that a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, it's probably because your fucking memory bandwidth is limited, so I moved it to the M.2 and that didn't do anything." And then I fucking was reading, like, "Oh, there's this setting that makes it all weird if you just disable it." So I did that and disabled fucking VRR, and it didn't fucking fix anything. Like, it didn't change anything. I think is the best part. Like, it didn't physically change anything. Like,
Right, because we know it's a game that your system can run, but for some reason your system's throttling you in that game.
it's
or
not
that game's-
throttling me. It's just like, that's why I said it's like a quirk, because it has everything uncapped. Like,
It has the possibility to do so, but that's what I'm saying. It's throttling you at 60 frames per second.
yeah. Well, no, I don't even think that's it though, because like I said, if I drop it down to 1080, like,
Exactly. It's
yeah,
keeping
I
you
don't
at
know if
60
it's-
frames a second.
Like I
It's-
said, I think that's a software bug, and I'll show you why I think it's a software bug here when I have a look at this.
but only for
No. You'll see exactly why. Like, you'll be like, okay, so come here for a second. I'll show you.
All right.
I was supposed to do this earlier. So, 64 frames a second. Whatever, 64, 67, cool, whatever. This is 4K. I think with DLSS on. So let's just go ahead. Don't pay attention to this real quick, because this is going to be my giveaway. So let's go ahead and turn this down. We're going to go full screen. Can we do it? Can we confirm? All the fucking way down. I mean, we're talking 1920 by 1080. NVIDIA DLSS, quality, escape. 70. What did you see the pause menu? Yeah, it jumps from 200. It's a bug. Like, full blown, I don't get it. That's why I say this is fucking okay. That's, yeah, like,
it's fucking wild. I don't.
like I'm literally dropping it down to run on a potato, and it's like, I'll give you 4 frames. Like, what? And like I said, this
It's
is
just
with
fucking weird.
this is with DLSS, so it's still upsampling for probably 720p, so it's even worse.
Right.
But if I play it without DLSS on, I lose like 10 frames. So I'm like still running it like 50 frames. I could run it natively with ray tracing on at 50 frames. And yes, I turned ray tracing off. Didn't do anything. Like, I turned the settings to low. It didn't do anything. Dude, that's why I said like a quirk, because
I don't know, man. That's weird.
the Outer Wilds is the same way. Like, I mean, well, the Outer Wilds isn't the same way. The base model is, because I could drop it down to 1080p and I'll only gain like 10 frames. It's the same fucking way. But I'm talking the old version that runs like that you just saw. My GPU's overclocked way past the 3090 Ti. What the fuck is going on? That's why I'm confused. Like, confuzzled. I'm confused. Weird quirk
Maybe it's just time for new graphics card.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want my computer catching on fire. I don't want it. I'll be right back though. So you can talk to the people about anywhere quirks that you might have gotten, like flickering.
I mean, not really. Like I said, the only one I really have noticed is just Fortnite randomly crashing on me. And it's always when I'm going back to the lobby, which is, I mean, it's just slightly annoying. It's really not a huge deal because I just open it back up. But it doesn't crash all the time. It just crashes on occasion, which isn't really that annoying for me. I don't really have any major issues on my frame rates. My shit runs as it should on the games that it's expected to. But I don't know. Couldn't tell you why.
Bear witness to his sins.
Okay.
I don't understand it either. Yeah, like I said, and it's not even a limiting factor because that was the reason why I wanted to save that screen for you, because it's capable of running higher than 60. It's not limiting, because in the pause menu it doesn't. And in the pause menu, like if you go to 4K, like, and this is something I didn't show you, but if you're at 4K, it'll run at 115 frames a minute. And you saw it jump to 200 when I went to 2. So it's capable of the rendering improvements, but it doesn't show in game. Like, and that's the thing. Like, that's the reason why I wanted to show you is because, you know, it's not like, man, that's less than I expected. It's like, dude, I am bewildered. I am bewildered. Go ahead. I'll be right back. Might as well start on the next topic.
All right. Well, our next topic is iPhone versus Android. Because Trevor here owns an iPhone and I own an Android. But, I mean, we're both going to be biased on this in a way. My biggest thing is I've owned iPhones and I've owned Android. He's owned Android and iPhone. And my opinion is that Android is better, depending on your purpose. The OS is better and more versatile for... What's the word I'm looking for? It's more for the creative mind, because you can do a lot more with the OS and personalize it a lot more than you can with the iPhone. Now, I haven't owned any of the newer iPhones. The last iPhone I owned was the iPhone 7. So we're sitting...
So lucky for you, I'm actually going to go into everything that you might think on this one. So, iPhone versus Android. I'm going to go ahead and just pee off of a limb on this one and say pee off of a limb, because that's the most interesting way to catch attention. Technologically speaking, Androids are better. They have more RAM. Some of them have a higher capacity phone camera. I don't know why I stopped there, but yeah, they have a higher capacity camera. They have a better processor in them for the most part.
I mean, all I said was that we might be biased because you have an iPhone.
See, I'm not biased though, and this is so we. I know we talked about this.
It's all about your purpose on what you're using the phone for.
So there is a reason that Android drew me and Glenn away, and the one thing about it is, like you've told me about it, that iPhones are just so fucking stupid sometimes. Sure they are. They don't allow you to do things. Or in the last 3 years, they just fucking came out with shit that Android has had for a decade, you know. And I get it, and I get that, and that's the thing is like, but the only reason that I switched is because with Android, yes, you have third-party apps that will allow you to do anything you want. But with getting older and everything like that, the one thing that I find is I want the fucking phone part to work. And it doesn't matter what Android I've used. over the last however long. They don't fucking work anymore. Like messages lag to come in. You get phone calls that drop out of nowhere for no fucking reason, and it happens so continuously that was the reason I switched, because this brick might be the same fucking brick they made 5 years ago, but at least I know it'll take calls and texts. Now,
I haven't had that issue.
Now, is this iPhone like revolutionary? Absolutely not. Like, it's not. I don't care. It's an Apple ecosystem product. It pretty much works as advertised for the most part. But it's not cool, and I know that. Like, it's not cool. The screen
my thing is the iPhones are just made for very basic use.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. Like,
I mean, it's a phone built to be a phone.
Yeah, and that's why I like it personally.
So there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
I just like, that's what I said when you left, was Androids were made for creativity.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, no, there's not
100%. But it's weird that you say you've had that issue, because I just popped my SIM card into a 10-year-old phone. Calls just fine, and I'm not saying this was a phone that was made 10 years ago that I just got. I mean, it was an old phone of mine that was 10 years old.
No, and like I said, that's totally fair. No, my thing is like I said, and it's just, but the one thing that I notice is that, especially with Androids, is, so the iPhones are hard to justify upgrading. And the reason is because A, they don't innovate as much. B, it's kind of the same fucking thing. I mean, I know that's aside from the innovation, and I say that because it looks the same. It's almost the same sensors. It has been for years. This was the first camera upgrade that we've had in a fucking decade almost. You know,
yeah.
So you know, our battery life is great for the most part. I mean, this year sucks cock, and I don't know why. Like, this year's iPhone is not the champ. It has been since the 11, because I think the 11, from the 11 to the 13, has had the best battery life, and it's just consistent. But the only reason it doesn't justify the upgrade compared to Android is that for some reason it doesn't matter if you run your iPhone through the ringer and it gets worn down or anything like that. I find, especially with Android use, the reason you want to upgrade is because, I don't know why, but over time it seems like the Android will actually start to get slow. It'll actually start to like have issues over time, a year or two, and it'll start to just become this like almost defective phone. I don't know if that's by nature or what it is, but I feel like that's how it is.
That's with any.
No, that's the thing, is like, so these iPhones, especially the ones newer, that's why it's hard to justify the upgrade, is because, like, I hold on to these for a full year.
Say that, because over a year,
but
the Android phone doesn't degrade.
No,
over
but
a span of time, it hasn't been long enough.
But no, see, this is the thing, and that's true. But if you, so I used to be, I'm not anymore, but I used to be a power user. So I would have like, so take this, everything I do with this, and make this do it. Like, I'm talking illegally downloading files, like running the CPU into the ground. Fucking, I would burn out an Android in like 5 months. No questions asked. I went over and got the iPhone 8 Plus. It still ran the same it did on the first day. And I pushed it hard on purpose because I wanted to see it fail so I could go back. And it didn't. That is one of my mainstays about it. And yes, no, I know what you mean. Over time they all do, because the only difference is that you're right on this, but in a different way. Because Apple has this 3-year plan. They want you to upgrade your phone every 3 years. And so in that 3 years, your old phone will receive an update that'll intentionally slow it down. That's something that a lot of people don't know, which fucking sucks.
I mean, actually, that came out very publicly, and
Yeah.
a lot of people do know about it.
Yeah, now, but
Nowadays.
it was only recently though. But that's what I'm saying though, is that like I'm saying this as someone who's known this for years. Like I've known this since I got my iPhone 8. They want you to upgrade. Like, but this is the thing though, is that's intentional. That is putting that shit directly in front of you to be like, okay, your phone's slow now, buy a new phone. As for the Android, I feel, and like I said, maybe it's because of the horsepower, maybe it's because of what it's running, maybe because they're trying to get it to do too much anymore. Because it seems like there was a point in time where Androids were just like, you couldn't kill them. Like, I know that. The HTC One, like, it wasn't the best phone in the world, but there's still people that have those fucking phones and are using them. That's wild.
Yeah, and I mean, that's fair. Like I said, I mean, I can use my fucking Android. It's one of the early Notes,
Yeah.
and it still runs just as it was brand new.
Yeah.
My phones, I keep my Android phones for 4 years before an upgrade, and it's like they're new. I never have a problem with them.
Well,
Although my last phone I upgraded because I used an app so much that it burned into the LCD.
yeah, I could see that one.
I did. That's why I did upgrade my last time. But
Yeah, I can see that. That's what I mean. But no, I mean like from the iPhone 8 Plus and before then, I'd owned every Android from every manufacturer that I could think of, from Samsung to Huawei to OnePlus to Honor to LG. You fucking name it, I've had it. Hell, I had the original Droid 2 from Verizon. Now, I loved that phone. That was one of the best phones that were ever created, and a lot of people only argue between which one was better, the Droid 1 or the Droid 2. Now, I mean, that's fucking ancient. You were probably like 4. Because it was like 2006, 7. Like it was a long fucking time ago.
I was 8 years old then, sir.
6, 7, yeah. Shut the fuck up. So I wasn't far off, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, that was one of the best phones. And then it seems like once Motorola took over as the main smartphone, everything got bad. Like from everything, from Samsung to, it didn't matter, and I don't know why, but that was the thing, is that, and it wasn't just me, it was several other people that were like, my phone keeps fucking breaking, my phone keeps fucking breaking, and we just had this longevity of just shit not working, and that's why I had switched. And the only reason that I haven't switched back is because I feel like some of the core features that I rely on, they're still not up to snuff. Like, they're really fucking close. Don't get me wrong. Like, they're really fucking close. But I feel like as soon as they get their battery life dialed in, and I also feel like as soon as they get, like, they just need to get the reliability on service fixed a little bit. And like I said, it's just because of this being so rock solid. I don't have a text message from my girlfriend saying, hey, I called you 20 minutes ago.
See, but I never had that issue.
Yeah, and you might be...
And that could be a carrier issue.
I've had Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. I've switched carriers.
But I mean, because that's not an issue that I've ever had to deal with. Now,
you might be lucky too. So
I have. So the last iPhone I had was the iPhone 7.
And I'm sorry.
I only had the
and
6 and the 7.
And I'm sorry, because I know those were not great.
They were good for the purpose I used them for.
Yeah.
They actually, I didn't really have an issue with those. I just wanted more out of a phone.
Yeah, and I get that. That's what I mean. Like, at the end of the day.
I'd say since I switched back to Android, I only own Samsung phones. Because that's the only brand that I trust.
The only Samsung phone that I would own is the Flip. I would not own a Note.
I love the Notes.
I would only own the Flip.
I've never had an issue with any of my Notes.
That would be the only phone that I would use. But another thing that really kind of enveloped this flame for me was, so on my same plan, I opened up a second line, which eventually became Abby's. Well, I wanted the Pixel 4a, I think is what it was. You know, which was like, everyone was saying, this is the best phone of the year. This is the best, budget phone. This is one of the best. And that phone did the same fucking thing. It did the same fucking things that I bitched about. Where I had texted someone off of that phone because it was like my work phone at the time, and I had to text them off of my personal phone when I got home, and they were like, "Why didn't you text me?" Like, I'm just telling you, dude. And it's like, and this is the problem, is that it ran fast. It was super nice because at the time it had like a better, you know, had like yours kind of, where the bezels were super slim to get to that point where bezels were almost gone. But it just did the same fucking things that I had bitched about for so long, and I continually grew to hate it because I'm like, why can't you do it? You be like your bigger brother. And it just seems like that to me, and that's what I mean.
And that could just be not, because I know you usually don't, or that's not something you do, but it could be that there's so much different variety of Androids that you could just be buying cheap shit.
No, like I said, the one that I bought, in comparison to, which was on the same plan, it wasn't cheap. Like, it's not like it was, oh yeah, this is the best budget phone. Like, no, it got named for price, performance, everything like that. Because what they basically did was they took everything that was good about the Pixel from the last year, and they put it in a package that A, had great battery life, B, had the most reliable signal that a lot of the companies have provided. Like, I'm just saying at this time, because it was the first one that Google made. I mean, it was like $500. It wasn't cheap.
I'm saying, man, I've never had this issue. Never once.
But that's why I'm telling you, though, because like, especially in having it in a hand-to-hand comparison, and I think at the time I still had my 8, because I skipped whatever the fuck the 10 was doing when that iPhone came out. I skipped that one, and I didn't get it until the 10s Max. And so I had like the 8 Plus and the Google Pixel. And the Google Pixel was like, oh my god, this is the Hail Mary of Android phones right now. And it was just fucking didn't. And like I said, it was I enjoyed the experience. And that's why it was hard for me to like let it go. Like, I sold it to a friend who liked it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is part of the reason why it's hard for me, because I love the creativity of Android. I love what you can do, the customizability. I love that, like, basically you can turn it into like a Raspberry Pi if you want to. You can open the bootloader and have it do animation if you want, which you can. It's cool, and I love that. And believe me, me and Glenn miss it. We really do. But like I said, it doesn't matter the experience. And like I said, I took time off. I wanted another one. I tried to get back into it. It still did the same fucking shitty things of why I left to begin with. And like I said, the camera at the time was beating out my iPhone. Dude, and like I said, I can't explain it, but it's just something about that. That's the reason why I don't want to go back to Android for me. But I will say that right now there is a shift towards Android becoming what it used to be, and iPhone's falling behind. And I think it's because of the chip shortage, because TSMC and Samsung manufacture a lot of the chips that go everywhere. Like, even the OLED screens that are in our iPhones, I think they're either LGs or Samsungs. So with that being said, Samsung was able to keep up with the outsourcing, as where Apple wasn't. They make their own proprietary chips and shit, but I heard that their dies are made elsewhere. So I think because of that, Apple's falling behind. Because this phone, like, my last phone was alright, but like, I've got little gripes here and there. Like, I like this one, I like that one, I like this one, I like this one better, you know, whatever the case may be. I fucking have never had as many issues with an iPhone than I have with this one. This motherfucking phone has been such a fucking dickbag, and the reason behind it is because they switched to eSIM.
Oh my god, I don't even wanna.
No. So no, like I said, we can go.
eSIM's just fucking shitty.
We can go into it. So that's the thing, is there's only eSIM in this. So my service was fucked. My internet was fucked. I've gone in twice to try to fix it. But this is the thing, is that is a decision on Apple's part that I knew was going to be fucked up. I was worried about the circumstances when it came out, and I'm not happy with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to know that that's something that's not going to fail, but it's not technology that they have fucking made normal. So that's part of the reason why I hate shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that.
And so this phone has been more broken than any iPhone, but this is the problem. This broken iPhone, when it was broken, was still more fucking functional than any Android iPhone.
See, and that's part of the problem.
From 2012 to 2015.
So what's the last Samsung phone you owned?
I had the Samsung Galaxy S8.
That's your problem. So your first try back going to Android and you bought a Google Pixel.
No, because Google Pixels are actually proven slightly to be better than Samsung in most aspects. There are a couple of things that or Samsung has better, but that is because of two reasons. One, Google beats Samsung because they're not using Qualcomm chips. So every Android phone uses the Qualcomm this generation block, right? Google, I think it was 2 phones ago now, they made the Google Pixel 6 or 7. I don't know which one they're
They
at
just made the 6.
No. Like I said, we can look it up because
what was it? It was the. I want to say it was the
Google Pixel.
the 6A is the last one that came out. The new one's the.
Yeah, so
coming out with the 7.
7. Okay, so I think it might have been the 5 or the 4. Let me see. Actually, I want to look it up.
That's what I'm saying. I've never had an issue with any Samsung phone that I've ever owned because Samsung does it right.
First Google Tensor chip. So it was in the Pixel 6. So it was in their last phone. So they had just changed over to making their own in-house chip, which it made it better in that category. But like I said, in comparison head to head, Samsung had a beat because A, more RAM, bigger batteries, shit like that. I mean, to be perfectly clear, the one thing that Google had is a stock Android experience because who owns Android? Google. Google owns the OS code for Android. So no matter what, whatever you see on top of it or whatever phone you get is a skin over Android. That's just a fact. But the other thing is that yeah, if your Google Pixel is coming with 4 gigs of RAM and your Note's coming with 10, what's going to have more fucking capacity to do shit? Obviously, it's going to be the one with 10. And if you're holding around a Google Pixel that looks like a slab of fucking glass compared to your Note 20 Plus, which looks like a fucking brick that you're going to beat someone to death with, that one's going to have better battery life.
So, and here's what I'm saying though is, you know, comparing your iPhone to a competitor that's priced about the same.
See, but that's the thing though, is it didn't matter because, like I said, all they did was take, like I said, I think it was the 4A because it was a while ago. It was a few years ago. It might have been the 3A. But the reason, so like how they're doing the A's and stuff, so what they do is they'll take a Pixel, they'll take a Pixel 7. They'll put the chip in this, use an old Pixel 6 frame, and they'll just resell it like that. So it's not like this is like cheap. It's basically the last year's version with an upgraded chip in a weird way, which is one of the reasons that it like confuses the fuck out of me, right? But that's what I'm saying. The Pixel 3A, that's the reason why it won the fucking Phone of the Year award, is because it was like $300 less than the Google Pixel, which, by the way, the Google Pixel is regarded as one of the heaviest hitters in Android. To be completely honest with you, if we're being totally upfront about the best Android phones, and it's unspoken because a lot of people don't know about this, it's Huawei. And there's a reason, and that's because Huawei is engineered from the ground up. Every single thing that they've had that like maybe an Android phone got this year, they've had for at least 4 or 5. But the reason that we don't hear about Huawei is because their phones are so good, they've been banned for sale in the US. Because they do not...
Huawei is banned in the US because it's a Chinese spy company.
No, that's not. That's, I know what you're talking about. No, that's not.
No, they were putting up, just putting up shit in, what's it onto like an AT&T tower so that people on their service can get, they just add on to their tower, which we're allowed to, but there was software in there that was spying
I know.
on
I'm trying to recall the whole thing because I know this was.
But it was Huawei.
But that's what I'm saying though. But at the end of the day, though, like a Huawei phone, you just still to this day, phone reviewers will get a Huawei phone and say they're still the best, but we still can't have them. And that's what I mean, and that's fine. I understand this.
Still.
That's what I mean. I understand the complications, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because guess what? Who else is Japanese? Samsung.
Yeah, it's Japanese. It's not Chinese.
It's fucking same thing. They're just next to it.
Same thing. Whoa.
I know that came off kind of.
Everyone
wrong.
with squinted eyes is Asian.
Yep, that came off really wrong. It did, but I wasn't trying to say it to be that way. But my point being is that overseas shit, spies like. That's why it's like just. But either way, no, it was a fair apples to apples comparison at the time, especially considering that when the 8 Plus dropped, that iPhone X dropped. And the iPhone X was the flagship at the time, so that would have been more comparable to compare it to like a top end. So taking 8 Plus is definitely more comparable to doing the Google's, you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't. No, I mean,
So,
fucking
yeah,
Apple's price range is fucking ridiculous.
No, well, I mean, no one can really talk shit because Samsung's still in the same boat too. You want to fold? $2,000, please, thanks.
Yeah, I don't.
Nobody.
I stay
really,
in my Samsung Galaxy path.
Still a Samsung Galaxy. It's just a Samsung Galaxy Flip. Samsung Galaxy Flip.
Well,
It's
that's
still
what I'm
the
saying.
same fucking thing.
When I talk about Android, I'm talking about Samsung.
Yeah.
It's Apple versus Samsung. Not really Android, because Android, I like the OS better than I like an iPhone, so that's just what it is.
And like I said, that's fair. I do too.
But it's the Samsung. You got to get top of the line Samsung to compare to the iPhone. Otherwise, it's unmatched. I mean, because go fucking get like what Samsung A30.
No, and the thing is I completely agree with you on that note because, I think if we're putting this into terms that can be best described as both easier to like explain, I think the iPhone is the equivalent of having a brand new Ryzen 7950X3D CPU in your system with like maybe 64 gigs of high-speed DDR5 RAM, but you're running it with a 1660. Because the potential is there, but there's no headroom to let you fucking run with it. And I feel that's like why I say that, because I was gonna go the opposite way, and then I'm like, and then I was like, no, because the graphics card at the end of the day is what's gonna allow you to push further and hold you back more. Because like I said, at the end of the day, the iPhone is built like the iPhone. Like, I think that right now the iPhones only have 6 gig of RAM in them, and yeah, sure, like that's all they need, but that's because there's no rhyme or reason to let it run out past that, or there's nothing that will make it bottleneck to where that wouldn't, match up anymore. Like that's where on an Android you could have background tasks and overlays over your messages, and you could have other programs running in the background like an auto clicker or something. Like you can have things that will make use of all that RAM and the power that it has and allow for it to run with it. But the iPhone just doesn't do that, because at the end of the day, it is just an iPhone. And like I said,
and that's also a fair point.
I won't even remotely argue with that. Like, sure, if you compare the best fucking Android to the best iPhone of the year head to head, for some fucking reason, Apple will always get a higher score in Cinebench. But what the fuck does Cinebench really mean? And that's the thing, is like, that's why it's real world performance, because it doesn't matter how much power you have if you can't use it. Like, that's one of the main reasons why, like, I'm not saying Apple's unflawed. I'm not saying I prefer it because it's just flat out better than Android. Fuck, I'm not saying that at all, because there's features that Android has that pisses me the fuck off. I want an under-screen fingerprint sensor. I fucking hate Face ID. Apple is the dumbest motherfuckers for making a shitty fucking integrated thing that just, good God, I can't stand it. I
do want to say I did like the fingerprint being on a button.
No, and like I said, and that
but
was...
the underlay is also good, but it's just, it seemed to work better when it was on a button.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's because it's like, so the button is actually reading your fingerprint. The under-screen fingerprint display, right here, and on some of the earlier phones that had it, there's a camera that shines a beam of light up on the glass, and your print is basically like how you push it down on a piece of glass and how the light outlines it. That's why it's not in an iPhone yet, because it's not even close to being mature on it. It's still brand new fucking kind of weird fucked up technology. I mean, shit, we didn't even master the fingerprint button until they got rid of it. Like,
it is one thing I did not like about that's
yeah, I mean,
another thing, and this isn't just for Apple. This is just a gripe I have with Apple, but it is on other phones as well. You get parts that aren't fucking Apple. So like the fingerprint sensor that they had on 6. So yeah, you can replace it. The home button, yeah, you can replace it, but you're not going to be able, because they don't allow you to use the fingerprint option on that because it wasn't made by them.
Yep. Okay. So no, this is a whole other controversial topic, and this is called right to repair. Apple has been in court over the last 2 years regarding right to repair, because even companies, like if you were to take this to a Radio Shack and they had a dealer who knew how to repair phones and stuff, they can't touch this. And the reason they can't touch this is because Apple charges so much for licensing to get their parts, which is just stupid. And like I said, I'm seeing news articles fairly frequently, and I'm saying, like, obviously I'm not searching for them, but I'm talking like at least once every couple of minutes about the discussion about right to repair and what's wrong with it, what's right with it. I mean, I 110% will never argue with that. And the thing is that you're actually wrong. It doesn't matter if it's other companies or not, because if you want to know the reason why it's such a piece of shit thing, and that I will argue with you until the ends of the earth, is because if you break your fucking screen, it's going to cost you $20 to $50. If I break my screen and I don't have insurance, it's $250 out of my fucking pocket. That is a fifth of my phone that I am paying for.
It actually cost me a lot more than that. It'll cost me about $400.
Well, then see, so Samsung's probably follow. I mean, let's be completely honest.
It's because it's got the edge on it.
No, let's be completely honest. Apple is kind of a trendsetter. They do something and then everyone else follows suit. It's kind of how it works.
You mean like how they're putting all of Samsung's technology that they had 10 years ago in their phones now?
Well, no, when Apple got rid of the headphone jack.
I still think that was fucking stupid. I'm not going to complain right now because
no, it was.
They
stupid.
have the C-type charger headphones now.
It was dumb. It was stupid. Like, I mean, I don't give a fuck, but at the end of the day, that was dumb. That was one of the stupidest and a lot of people know it.
And I'll put it this way, is because when they got rid of the headphone jacks, they didn't have headphones ready or readily available at a cheap price that you could use your charging dock as a headphone jack. That didn't come until a few versions later.
Because let's be completely honest, I'm not trying to call Apple out on this, because I know this wasn't technically their fault. But Beats by Dre are not good headphones. They never have been. Like, they're way too boomy. You don't get a clear signal. Sure, they work, but I mean, if I wanted to listen to two dudes fart in my ears, I'd go to a local restroom, find a trucker stop. Like, that's what Beats by Dre does, because you can't, and technology has just barely gotten to the point where especially IEMs could not carry bass well. If there was a bass drop, it sounded like I don't know what to
It
tell
was
you.
it was less low frequency and more subwoofery.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't really be.
Actually, it kind of sounded like if you were to punch a hole in your car's speaker. That's what it sounded like.
Is honestly when they got rid of the headphone jack, I was already using Bluetooth headphones nonstop. Anyways, I never had wired headphones,
Yeah.
so
But
I'm really not that mad about it.
I mean, I'm not either because now we're at a point where it works. Like,
Yeah.
we're at a point where it's flawless, which that's what we mean. But as far as what we're talking about, it's just that technological advancement of like Apple, man, fuck, you know. But that's what I mean. So like, 95% of me is on your side, but the other percent of me is like, I have just had such bad experience with Android, and I know so many people that have. And maybe you're just lucky. I mean, that might be it too. Who knows? Because I know people who have had
Yeah,
that.
I just don't
Toppest
get it.
end. Toppest end, and they just fucking break. They don't work after like 3 months, 6 months, and I don't want that in a phone. But that's
Yeah,
like I said.
that's
But now, iPhone's kind of fucking up because they're making these changes that are gonna fuck everyone. So maybe I will go back to Android sooner rather than later, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, the last topic for the day is unfortunately something that I hate.
Oh, damn it, bro.
What?
I just noticed Trevor's not wearing his Hey Dudes.
I was. But then I had to go scrape off my girlfriend's car. And fuck you doing that in the snow.
Dude, I wear my Hey Dudes in the snow.
I'm glad.
They're definitely not waterproof and they breathe. And
Yeah,
I don't mind my toes getting cold.
I'm
but
glad you like pneumonia. I don't. Broken Overwatch characters. So, I know you haven't seen, but they made Baptiste a new limited edition costume where he is One Punch Man. Now, if I need to say anything more about why he's broken, they finally nerfed Mercy. I'll give him that. If Baptiste,
that reminds me of a song. You gotta listen to it.
maybe I will. Talk about Overwatch.
It is. It's about playing Overwatch.
Oh, nice.
Anyways, I like playing as Baptiste.
The big guy that punches. What am I thinking of? The
No, Baptiste is the one that's the healers. He's the healer that's got 3-round burst.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, you're right.
You're thinking of.
Nope.
I know which one you're talking about.
We haven't played in a long time. Sorry, I'm retarded.
Yeah, I haven't touched my computer in weeks.
Ah, Doomfist. Literally, it's in his fucking name. Yeah, Doomfist, the black guy. That
Yeah.
yeah. They turned him into One Punch Man. If you want to talk about broken, yeah, that's him. Fucking stupid.
That's just bad sense of humor.
I hate him anyways. Like, period. Okay. Symmetra was broken when we started, but has been fixed. Winston is just broken. Like, broken. Yeah, like,
Just a little
broken.
bit.
Just a lot. Just a lot. Let's see. Oh yeah, Baptiste. No, Baptiste is fine.
Yeah, Baptiste doesn't have any
Okay, yeah, Doomfist.
main issues.
Doomfist is fucking broken. And should we talk about the other character that's absolutely fucking broken, which is Echo?
Yes. Fun to play, a bitch to fight against.
Fucking not even fun. Yeah. Junkrat, I feel, is the only fair one. Like, Junkrat kind of... Like, a lot of people think he's broken, but I don't think he's broken.
You just need to know how to use it.
I think he's balanced pretty well because, like, yeah, sure, he has like his spinning wheel. You can fuck him up too, like really easy.
They say that spinning wheel, it's actually really easy. You just like shoot it once and it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's not like it can do a lot of damage if it gets to you, but it's actually pretty easy to defend against.
Yeah. May was broken. She's been nerfed.
People use May.
She's been nerfed, which is a thank God. Mercy was literally has videos about how broken she is because she can heal, and while she's healing other people, I think she was healing herself, which is fucking stupid. Like, that makes you invincible. That's dumb. Okay, like, I know she isn't broken technically.
I'm not a fan of Moira.
I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them. Ramatra is a bitch, but they're okay. Reaper has been nerfed, so that's good because Reaper used to be a fucking bitch. Reinhardt's just hard to fight against. Yeah, Reinhardt is just a bitch to fight against. Roadhog used to be he'd get a kill and then he could recover and he could just do that continually. So he had like 2 health bars. He's been fixed. Sigma, he's not bad.
He's not broken.
He's not broken, but he's just weird. Yeah, Symmetra used to be broken. The little fucking troll thing, I think he's the fairest because I killed him easy. Did you know that people were saying that Tracer's broken? I can't really figure that out. Because, like, even if they're like, oh, she's so fast and she dies so easily.
She is annoying to fight against.
But she's easy to kill.
But she is easy to kill. If you can get if you can hit the target.
Yeah, Widowmaker, I feel like she's a fair fight. Yeah, she's from a distance, but she's fair. Winston is fucking broken. I don't care what you say. He has too much goddamn health, and he has too powerful of attacks. He's fucking broken. Now, Wrecking Ball is just annoying as fuck. Oh my god. I don't know why. I don't know why. This little hamster in this ball just fucking won't die. Like, he has so much health.
Yeah.
But that's all, you know. And then Zenyatta, that's the God.
It's like
too easy to get killed by him. He shoots you once, and you're dead.
Yeah.
And you're dead. I know Baptiste is really useful too. You know,
Bastion's a good one.
Bastion is a good one. Bridget's really good. Somehow they made Diva work. That's really nice. Genji is good. I mean, Genji's weird. Hanzo.
Yeah, you have to be a specific player type to be Genji.
Yeah, you do. Hanzo is just he's hard to fight because he's quick, but you can avoid a lot of his attacks. Junker Queen, she's just a tank, but that's her classification. She's just a big bitch with a fucking handheld shotgun. She fucks you up, but she's not an unfair fight.
No.
Kikiro, when she first got launched, was broken as fuck.
I don't think I've ever played as Kikiro.
Nope, because the second season hit, or the second wave hit before you did. Lucio last season was fucking very broken.
I fucking hate everybody that played him.
Very fucking broken.
No, he was way too fucking fast for anything.
He was way too fast. He could somehow heal himself. Like, he's broken. He was fucking broken. Like, broken as fuck. I think my biggest pain in the ass that's not technically broken is Orisa. I hate having to go against that spear wielding fucking weirdo.
I mean,
that can stun you and
still pretty easily killed. in my opinion.
Just pisses me off.
Just kind of annoying.
Very fucking annoying. Sojourn is easy. Soldier 76, I know like a few people who play him, but not a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Symmetra, I can see how she's useful, but she is very complex to use correct. Yeah, and then Zyra, I mean, cool. But yeah, like realistically, a lot of characters are fucking broken.
There's quite a few that are broken, and it makes the game unenjoyable.
Okay, so now that we've talked about the Overwatch thing, let's just go ahead and close out with a little side note. What are some things that you think that Fortnite can improve from? Because playing it as much as I have been, there's a few things that I like. There's a few things that I don't like.
I really haven't played it that much to really have a good answer to that question.
Well, no, I mean, like, obviously, it's like, I'm not talking, like, overall in general. There's just, like, 3 things off the top of my head that I fucking despise. One of them is if you spawn on the top of a building, there's no way to get down. You just basically die. Because, like, when we got stuck on top of the castle, and we're like, fuck! I'll come down and get you.
Well, I mean, there's ways to get down. It was the drop damage. You fall too far, you die. But there are ways to get down from that.
I mean, I'm sure you could do it smarter. That's, like I said, a mild complaint. The other complaint that I have, which is really, really fucking stupid, and I don't know if it's a bug or a mechanic, you can't reload while you're running. I hate that.
That is actually pretty annoying. You
fucking
start
hate
reloading
that.
and then you start running and it just cancels.
I fucking
Why?
hate that. I fucking
yeah.
hate that. So
Every
bad.
other game, you can multitask.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I fucking hate that.
I feel that.
That's
I
what I was saying.
fucking feel that.
That's why I'm saying I've noticed just these small things, and what was the other thing that I was thinking? This isn't what I was thinking, but I think that time in vehicles should be limited too, because I've noticed that people will hop in a vehicle, and they
And
will
just drive around.
run away, and they will use the vehicle to kill whoever they're with. Like, just the whole.
I guess that's well, but at the same time, it's like I feel like they should make the vehicles more damageable.
Well, no, like, that's why I say like time. Like, I'm not even saying like timetable. I'm just saying like, so say that the storm closes twice, because what, it closes like 3 or 4 times, right? So say it closes twice. Say if you're in the vehicle for 2 storm closes, it just kicks you out. You have to get back in, but that leaves you vulnerable, and then that's only because you're being a dickhead and like just waiting it out. Like, that is what I'm talking about. I mean, you still get back in, but it kicks you out far enough away to where you actually might have to fight for your fucking self. Like, I don't know. I see what you're saying with that, and I get it. I think that's kind of bullshit. I think it would be beneficial to say, I mean, the last 2 storms, no one gets vehicles. Or that's
just taken away.
Or the 3rd storm, like when we're in the circle and we have to fight, then all vehicles. Like that.
That's what I'm saying. When you're in close enough proximity to the last players, it's just vehicles are done.
Yeah, that but that's what I'm saying though. But people just fucking,
But it's like the same thing for Call of Duty.
I mean, yeah, but Call of Duty's fucked up.
Anyway, it's fair.
I mean, Fortnite is too, but but at least you can reload when you're running. God damn it. And what was it?
That's what I'm saying. I think just the vehicles in Fortnite should be more damageable, so that when someone's going by, you shoot it, do more damage, make it so it's less.
Like, okay, I know it just got introduced, but I do like the motorcycle idea, because at least you can hurt them. At least it's easier to hurt.
That's fair.
Because you can headshot someone off of a motorcycle. I have done it. It's cool. But no, what was the other thing? What was the other thing that I was thinking of? There was something else I was thinking of. And like I said, I know I'm criticizing a 6-year-old game, but that's why I'm criticizing it, because it's a 6-year-old fucking game.
Is it a 6-year-old game or a game for 6-year-olds?
Both.
Dun dun dun.
We are 6. Dun dun dun. But no, there was another thing that I was thinking of. Because it was something I found out really recently. So I found out how to know if you have a headshot. And I know that it's like for most games, it makes a specific noise, but your recoil is less. Like, I don't know if you've noticed that. Yeah, like maybe if we hop in like one of these days, tomorrow, today, something, whatever, and you get a heady, you'll notice it. Like how you shoot, it goes pew. If you nail that headshot, it's like it's really weird. Like there's
Never
little,
noticed that.
yeah, there's little quirks that just drive me fucking crazy. But I think the other thing that I have noticed is God, what is it? It was something to do with the castles. Like I know what I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it. But it's like the fucking like I can't think of what it is. I
don't.
Well, it's like, so one of the gripes I guess I have is that if you're following the minimap for a shot, I know that the sounds are obviously louder and shit. I just kind of hate that, like, I don't know, like I said, and I mean, it's like, this is kind of more of a gripe than a problem. It's not a bug. But I definitely wish there was a better way to show if someone's inside. Like if the dot was like yellow versus red. Because it is super annoying to get to a spot and someone's like spawn camping. You know exactly what I mean.
I see where you're going with this. So, like, when you see, you know, the compass direction that somebody's shooting, you can see whether it's inside a building or if it's outside of a building.
Yeah, just and like I said, that's just because, like, especially with the people who have come from creative, where they know how to disassemble a building and hide in pockets and shit. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of,
I get that.
That's kind of what I was getting at with the castle thing, because I feel like especially us, if we fight in a castle, like, I don't know why, but when we fight in a castle, we die. Like, if we're out in the open, it doesn't matter. Nobody holds a candle to us, really. But if we're, like, in an enclosed space, in a castle, or just somewhere, for some reason we die. Like, that...
we didn't the last time.
No, but the last time we played, we got fucking slaughtered. Remember, we spawned in. Oh, come help me. And you're like, what? Boof!
Well, no, I meant, like, the last time we played in... I wasn't with you, never mind.
Yeah, you weren't. That's why I was like, no, the last time we played, we got jumped by like 5 fucking people.
Yeah. We got surrounded.
Yeah.
Third party to the max.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it just, I don't know. It kind of seems like there's a lot of that. Like, there's like groups too that 8 people will go together. I noticed that too, and it's really weird. Like, and until there's like the last 50 or 25, they'll stay together.
I haven't noticed that. Like I said, I haven't played much.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've played.
And I know this is overall just a toxic fucking online community versus not or whatever, but yeah, it's shitty. But Fortnite, let us reload while we're running, please. Please. That fucking sucks.
Begging you.
That fucking sucks.
It really does.
Like, it's garbage. Like, if I'm shooting someone, I need to reload. But I'm gonna run away so they don't kill me.
But I'm gonna run away so they can't kill me.
You know, and at some point it's like, you know, but then the opposite is like, well, wouldn't you want your opponent to be able to be vulnerable when you reload? No, because I'm gonna kill them anyway, as long as I can reload when I run away. Like, they're gonna kill me while I'm reloading. That's the point. Because it unfortunately takes fucking ever to reload. Like, and I think I'm spoiled because we play Overwatch. Because Tracer's just a click, and she's good to go.
Yeah, you can reload a lot faster in a lot of other games.
So that's part of the reason why I think it's even worse. But the thing is that you can reload while you're running in other games too. So it's like double the speed. That's why it's worse. Like, I don't understand that. Like I said, Tracer's just king, she's good to go. I reload in a fucking second. Fortnite's like click, click.
I get it. It's
Yeah. Like, we're just talking shit now to talk shit because that's what we do. And we're just angry because...
It is definitely one of the cons, but...
Yeah, it's one of the cons. It's one of the cons.
There's pros and cons to all games.
Except for Call of Duty. It's just a con.
Just cons.
It's just cons. Con of Duty. Con of Dookie. You know, whatever.
Con of Dookie, huh?
Hell yeah. Because it's a bad game. It's a car. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for us over here at the TNC Hysterical Podcast. So, per usual, thank you for joining us on this day. We've got a couple of things to do, and we're going to wrap up our own day. So we hope that you have a wonderful day.